to like and subscribe, even hit the hype button if you're feeling nice. Welcome back to Just Reactions. Unfortunately, there were some issues with the recording of my reaction for Season 1, Episode 3 of A Night of the Seven Kingdoms. Long story short, you can't hear anything I say, you just see me move my lips. So I'm gonna just go through the episode and what I thought about it for a little bit. So we were going through the motions of seeing the different people jousting or whatever. What's his name? I don't even know why I'm pretending like I know his name. The Targaryen prince that's there, the known Targaryen prince that's there. He was in the joust and he purposefully stabbed the horse with the lance. Everybody hated that. Somebody threw something at him. They were so close to hitting him in the face. Unfortunately, it hit his helmet. It was like an inch off from getting in his face. I was like, dang it, we almost had him right there. And then all the people like ran into the field. They were really trying to mob him. So yeah, I'm like, I was loving it because usually the Targaryens, they be doing crazy stuff and getting away with it for real, for real. So I was really happy to see all the people like, no, we're not just gonna let you do this. Like, we're coming for you. That was good. And then we were just like, hanging out for most of the day because he being Sir Duncan was like ready. He was vomiting for some reason. Why was he vomiting? I don't know. I guess maybe you don't want to accidentally vomit on the field like of the joust or what, but he was like vomiting apparently, or maybe I don't know if it was that, if he was doing it on purpose or if it was just because of nerves. But anyway, he was vomiting in like preparation or whatever for the joust. Then it turns out he can't joust anyway today because it's only for certain people today. Then we went to get our we were getting some fruit, not fruit, we were getting eggs, and we saw the stage girl passing by, and we tried to chat her up a little bit, but she was not trying to chat with us. She was just like, your shield will be done by the end of the day. And then she just kept it moving. And I was like, dang, that's crazy. And then we did a lot of talking, just talking about our life and bonding a little bit. Egg and Sir Duncan, they were just like, just chatting most of the time. And then, oh, master of the games came to us. This part made no sense to me. He came to us and he was like, yeah, so people don't think you're gonna win, but we want you to win. And so I was like, before he said anything, whenever he brought us to to the woods or whatever, I was like, oh, either they're about to jump us, but then there was no jumping, so I was like, okay, he's gonna ask us to take a dive. But he didn't. He was like, we want you to win. And I'm like, so try your best, which is what we're gonna do anyway. But then he was like, we're actually gonna have the other guy take a dive. And I was like, wait a second, why are you telling us? Why do we need to know? And then he's like, obviously, or whatever. He's like, we'll give you some money, if you go with everything. And I'm just like, wait a second, you're paying us because the other guy's taking a dive. Like you're paying us to try to win, which we were gonna do anyway. Like, cause now, not only do you have to pay us, like, okay, so say we agree, right? You have to pay the guy to take the dive, and you have to pay us, like, so that we don't tell anybody, obviously. Because, like, I mean, we're gonna try to win either way. We weren't planning on trying to lose. But yeah, so now you have to pay us to keep silence because you told us for whatever reason. But if we disagree, I mean, we can't. What are we gonna do? The only way to not, if we disagree and don't want to participate in this, the only option we have to not participate is to literally pull out of the entire thing because we can't, go in there and then purposefully lose because then it's like it doesn't make any sense to purposely lose because this guy's trying to purposely lose. Like it's like so, or I guess we could just like tell on you. I don't know. Who are we telling if you're the master of the games? I don't know. But it just didn't make any sense to like tell the person who you want to try to win that you're doing something shady, and it's like, for what? But whatever, whatever. That happened. We didn't. I don't think we agreed to it, but we didn't like say, oh no, I'm snitching, or oh no, I won't let this happen, or anything like that. I think we are just like, I'll think about it. And then he was like eyeballing us throughout the rest of the episode. And I was like, why are you eyeballing me for real? Like, stop. And then we get to the climax of the episode because honestly, this is the main thing I remember. Anything else important that might have happened, I probably forgot already. But yeah, the climax of the episode, known Prince Targaryen, goes and he's like watching the stage play, and apparently he gets upset because the dragon loses, and I'm like, sir, it is a stage play. Get out of my face. And so he starts torturing Stage Girl by breaking her fingers. And I'm like, what? Because I mean, I guess she was the knight in the play. But, and actually, I really was questioning why she was the knight in the play. I'm like, why is she the knight? Because before she was like the fire holder, I think, or whatever, and the talker. Like, there was somebody else playing the knight. So why is she all of a sudden the knight? Where they have men to play the knights. But whatever. Obviously, it was for this part of the plot. So yeah, he's torturing her, and then obviously we're not gonna let that stand. So Sir Duncan, I guess this is how he makes up for his lack of game earlier. Comes in and rescues her, or mostly rescues her from him, and starts like trying to beat him up and everything. But then, of course, he has a bunch of guards that save him, and then he's like, "Oh, we're gonna break his teeth out his mouth." And then who steps in? Egg steps in. He's like, "You know what? I'm the big boss around here. Because if you don't listen to me, I'm telling my daddy." Hashtag Targaryen. And then they listen to him, of course. And then the evil prince is all like, "What are you doing here?" And then, "Why'd you cut your hair?" And then Egg is like, "Cause I didn't want to look like you, ugly." He didn't call him ugly, but I'm calling him ugly for emphasis. And then of course Sir Duncan's just on the ground like, "What?" And yeah, basically, yeah, he just came in and took total control. And now I'm like, where are we gonna go for real? Because I didn't expect the big reveal to happen this early in the season. How many episodes is there? That was episode 3, and we already revealed he's a Targaryen. Like, I thought I cracked the code whenever I figured it out in the first episode. I was like, "Ooh, I'm a genius." But I guess it wasn't that much of a secret they were trying to keep if they reveal it in the third episode anyway. It's a very, very big boss move scene, and like, I was really freaking out about it in the reaction. It doesn't matter now, I guess, because you'll never see it, but I was really impressed. And yeah, I guess maybe Duncan's gonna become like his knight, like so that he could be under his protection, or I don't know, because like obviously can't Egg can't continue to be the squire, right? Because you can't have the Targaryen king is not gonna let his son be a squire, right? I don't think so. But yeah, I think this is probably my favorite episode, maybe. I mean, out of all 3, yeah. But let's just go with yeah for now. It was a pretty good episode. Pretty good episode.